What's up guys, NightChasers here and welcome back to the channel. In this video we're doing Raider stuff. It is freezing out and it's windy, so I'm sorry if the wind bothers the video. Either way, I have a few complaints with this thing. One of them is the differentials. Once one tire loses traction, it just spins and then I have to back up and all that nonsense. So I want to fix that, and I can't weld the front diff, so I'm still trying to figure out a solution for the front diff. The rear diff, I'm just going to weld the rear diff and shim the rear end because it has a wind to it. I need to check the suspension on this. I'm going to remove the front sway bar. I don't have much flex and I don't have much suspension travel and it rides really stiff. So I'm thinking that it might have been, the torsion bars might have been cranked up or something, because it does have 33s on it and they do clear pretty easily. And someone had mentioned on the Montero page that that it looks like it could be cranked up or lifted up to fit the tires as well as it does. I don't have much power with the G54B. I think it makes 110 stock, which isn't enough for this. And it has great torque, and I mean, I have to kind of be in 4 low to do a lot of stuff. So to solve that, I have a long tube header on the way, because the exhaust that's on it right now is just junk. I have a long tube header on the way, so I'm going to put the header on and exhaust. I went out and picked up a Weber 3236. I should have went with the Weber 38. But I found a Weber 3236 for a really good deal on Marketplace, and it's in good shape. So I'm going to run that, and I have the adapter kit on the way, and those all should be here by next week at the latest. Another complaint is lighting. I have one headlight. That headlight's bad. Boop, there it is. And the light bars fell off from all the vibration. So I picked up these. Well, didn't pick them up. They were delivered to me from eBay. Some cheap LED 7-inch round headlights. No name, no brand. But they were like 45 bucks, so I was like, it's worth a shot. So I'm gonna put those in, get the light bars back on it. I need to like straighten out this bumper. I really need to change the bumpers on it. I'd like to get a cable for the rear winch to get the winch back on, and maybe figure out the rear bumper as well, because the rear bumper's bad. I'm gonna try to find another Chevy Steely to mount on the back of this and kind of just outfit it, because like I have a bunch of stuff in it, but it's just like kind of like thrown back there. You know, I got an empty water bottle and I think an empty jug of coolant and a tow strap, and then the light bar. Oh, and there's a quart of oil and a bag full of straps and a screwdriver. See, it's just kind of thrown back there. And I kind of want to organize it and get it like more ready. You know, it's not a mud toy. It's just kind of like have fun doing a little bit of every kind of off-road. And it is Christmas time right now, so I don't have much time to test it out. So I'm going to try to get everything I can done in this video, and then maybe give it a quick test, or maybe to see how the power feels with the new stuff on it. So so stay tuned for that. That's coming up in this video. So even though I know that this is an off-road vehicle and it's not supposed to look good, well, it can look all right. I am going to, while I have the plastics off, I'm going to paint them black, and I'm just going to touch this up right here. I'd like to drive it to the power washer, the car wash, and wash everything back there and just paint it all black, because I kind of like stuff looking good for some reason, whatever. These are going to look sick, and I found an issue. There's the issue with this side, why this headlight doesn't work. It's just all sorts of corroded. So I'm gonna have to change the headlight socket. But these though are gonna look sick. Let me get them in real quick. It's hard to do one-handed. Yeah. The cool thing is the ring that holds the headlights in is gonna work great. I'm just gonna have to get a little bit longer of screws, but it's gonna look awesome. I am super stoked for this for some reason. $45 eBay headlights that probably didn't come with everything it was supposed to come with. I just plugged them in to see if they'd work, and they didn't, but I'm thinking that they plug right in, but I'm thinking this right here is gonna need power. So I gotta run power to both sides to this, and then plug them in. So I'm thinking that's what's gonna have to happen. And it came with little threaded holes for fogs too, so that's kind of cool. but I don't need them for that. So yeah, so I gotta go. I gotta go to the parts store and get some stuff, and hopefully I have enough time in this video to get everything done. So I might have to cut some of this out because I'm just talking like right now. All right, the header's finally on. After having to notch the motor mount and then remove the heat shields on the firewall and underneath down at the bend, I had to beat on the back, the fourth tube a little bit for it to clear the firewall. I had to really beat the second and third, or though, is it the first and second tube to clear the block. I had to notch the back of the flange to clear a bolt. This header is junk. Don't ever buy an eBay header. Just keep with your stock manifold, it's way better. But we're about to start it. It's so loud. It is way loud. It's so loud and it sounds so bad. I can't wait to actually put an exhaust on it. It needs a full exhaust with like a really good muffler.
Why does your carbureted vehicle start faster than my fuel injected Jetta?
Dude, the Raider starts faster than the Saturn does.
It starts way faster than my Jetta.
I love the Raider. I need to finish it. I need to go eat dinner and come out and clean this mess up. Alright, so a few months later we were back to working on the Raider. After dealing with that terrible header install, I got real annoyed, lost all motivation. So I parked it in the backyard and forgot about it. Started working on other stuff, and then I lost track of time. And next thing you know, it's a couple months later, and I started missing the Raider. So I decided to take action, and I went out and picked up what I needed to finish the exhaust. And I'm real excited for this. I got one of these corkscrew style resonators. I've never ran one before, and I'm real excited to see what it sounds like, hear what it sounds like. It's 2.5 inch, which is most likely overkill for this engine, but I've noticed with 4-cylinder cars, if you run a bigger pipe, you get a better sound out of them. And I feel like 2.5 inch with a resonator ain't gonna kill enough. It's not gonna hurt anything up high. If anything, it'll hurt low end torque. And I'm not really worried about low end torque. More so like I have the low end torque for everything I need. The high-end power is where I don't have the power to spin the tires to like get out of any kind of mud. So another issue was the weight of the wheels. Those 17-inch Chevy Steelies I had on here were really heavy, and this thing was struggling to get them spinning. So I got a really good deal on these, and I'm not a big fan of the way they look. They're not terrible, but I'm not like real excited over them. What I am excited for is the weight. They are like probably a solid 20 pounds lighter per wheel than the Steelies. They are the same size. They're 17-inch aluminum. I don't know, Moto Metals or Ruffinos, I think is what they were. It's got just normal road tires on them right now. I just wanted to see if I liked them enough to actually swap my BF Goodrich's over to these wheels, which I'm probably going to do. So I'm going to get the exhaust welded up tonight, and then I'm going to start working on the carb swap and swapping over the headlights finally. I need to change the headlight plugs because they're all corroded and poopy, and this one's got a broken wire. And then after we're done with the headlights, carb, and the exhaust, I have some more plans. We'll see where the video's at, though. Alright, so Tony came over. I actually kind of like hired Tony to help me finish the Raider because I just wasn't getting the time to get it together. And I'm actually glad because he got the headlights to work. And it turns out, what are they? They're ground controlled?
Ground control relay system for the headlights.
So he had to figure out some stuff and do some wiring and Jesus, relay things. Turn the lights on. Oof. They're really bright. What are you going to do, the high beams? He's going to wire the high beams. There's the high beams. He's going to wire the high beams to the light bar. And so like when I hit my high beams, it's like super duper stupid. And I got the exhaust for the most part done. I got to pull it off and weld one more piece. It's still pretty loud with that corkscrew resonator. And we actually got the Weber on. And it idles great. It starts right up. Idle's phenomenal. But it's got a lean issue when you step on the gas and you're revving it up. If the choke plate's closed slightly, it acts fine. So we got to figure out the lean issue, which could be the vane jets. I don't know. We got some work to do still, but we're getting there. We're getting close. Whoa!
My eyes are burning.
Yeah, it's stinky in this garage right now. All right, so I drove it to work today, and it did terrible. I'll get to that in a minute. I just got done washing it, and I wanted to give an update on everything before I do the bad news. The new headlights are great. I love them. I can see way better at night now. I had this light bar laying around, and Tony just welded it on this bumper. This bumper is going to be getting changed soon, so he did wire the brights and the high beams, like the high beams in the light bar, to a switch instead of just running it into the high beams, because it was becoming a pain in the butt to do it. But yeah, it's sweet. I'm super happy with it. The exhaust is done. The exhaust is done, and it sounds pretty good. It's nice and quiet at idle. I don't really hear any leaks, but it's tucked up. I gotta get the old pipe out of there still, but it's nice and tucked up there, so it doesn't get hit by anything. I like to run the pipe up over the frame and out the side, but that's for another day. I like to keep the exhaust up off the ground, so when I'm trailing, it doesn't get hung up on anything. I don't mind these wheels on it after cleaning it up and looking at it. Yeah, so let's pop the hood real quick, give an idea of what we got going on. See, I'm running no filter right now, I know. It's because I keep messing with the carb. But I also cleaned the engine bay up with the power washer. It turned out all right. It's a lot better than it was. But I keep having a lean issue with the carb, and I have to make sure that these stay pretty much shut. For it to even want to drive. If they're not shut, it doesn't even want to really drive. All right, so like I mentioned in the last clip, I'm having a lean issue with the carb. I have to have the choke plates basically shut for it to even want to idle or run right. It idles great no matter what. To be able to drive and run around, they have to be basically shut, which is no bueno. So I talked to my buddy Evan, and he has a couple ideas. We're going to reset the ignition timing, or check it first, and then make sure it's perfect. We're going to check fuel pressure, check vacuum, check all the stuff, change the fuel filter, check all of that. And then at that point, we're going to start messing with like maybe the float height, checking the float height, messing with the jets and everything like that. I got to order a jet kit for it. Other than that, the headlights are great. The exhaust is great. I didn't get everything I wanted done in this video, so I'm going to end this video because this video has been in making since Christmas time, which is terrible. I just want to get this video done. And this video, I'm not happy with this video because there wasn't any action in it, and it's just been taking so long that it's just cobbled together, and I'm sorry. The next video will be much better, I promise. The next video, Tony is going to be making bumpers for the front and rear. He has some material over there. I don't know what he's going to use exactly. I haven't really talked to him yet about it. But he has plans to make bumpers for the front and rear. We're going to get the sway bar off. He is going to weld the diff. I'm going to get the tires swapped over. I'm going to make, I think, I'm going to flip the camera. I'm going to make, I think, like a universal, like a flip-flop wideband sensor, so I can put in any car I want and see where it's at. Like, it's probably going to be a clip-in, so it's going to be like, I'm going to run it up the exhaust pipe as far as I can and then just clip it there, hook it up to the battery and run it and see if what I'm getting. And I really need to get a wideband on it and see what it's doing so I can get it fine-tuned, because I don't want to be dealing with this out in the trails. And I need to do the same thing to the Commander whatever else is running like crap. You know, the wideband's really helpful. So I need to make like a universal wideband setup for these cars. So I'm gonna try to do that with this. I just need to go pick up another wideband setup. Rear light bar, front winch is gonna go on when Tony builds the bumper. That's about it. So let's make a list real quick, mental list. Front and rear bumper, winch, tires, sway bar, welded diff, carb lean issue. I think that's it. 7 things, and then we'll be back out trailing. The wife had mentioned something about going out to the mountains. I don't know if this is going to be done next Sunday, this upcoming Sunday actually. So maybe we'll take the OBS or the Ram if I get the Ram fixed, just to cruise around, not to go anything crazy, but just to cruise around. So maybe that'll actually be a great video for the goodbye video for the OBS. So maybe I'll actually end up taking the OBS out there just for a good goodbye video, because it is going to bother. Loud bikes. Anyway, so I'm sorry that the video took forever to get done, and there hasn't been any updates on the Raider in so long. And that's why, because I've been working on the video for so long. And I'm sorry that the carb failed me and that we didn't do anything actiony with the Raider. Next video, I promise. So like and subscribe, hit the bell icon to see future videos of the Raider, because there will be future videos. And share the video. I hope you liked it. Like I said, I'm apologize again. And be prepared for the next video. See ya.